Oh wow, that other video went a lot longer than I thought. This is another review of the, let me see, this previous one. When I said I was gonna review these tier lists, I didn't realize this was a mommy tier list, but go for it. That's what we're reviewing today, other people's tier lists. On this tier list, this one is, I guess, a tier list of mommy, dommy, average, and maybe a no. This tier list, I would say, honestly, I'd probably put, I mean, what does that mean, mommy? I don't even know. Dommy, I could understand that, but mommy? I don't know, an average? Oh, and they put Asuka, my freaking, my personal waifu in freaking average. No, I don't like this tier list. I mean, I don't even know. I'll put all of them in dommy. I wouldn't put them in mommy. I would put it in dommy. That's it. All of them in mommy. I mean dommy. None of them mommy. No, no maybe. No average. All the Action Taimanin girls in dommy. They're all awesome design, awesome characters. There. That tier list is over. Now to a regular tier list. This one looks a lot better than this one. This one, it was just off. Look at Aina right here, and Ingrid right here. And I said I really like Ingrid and like Aina, and I would put Ingrid like one tier lower, and Aina all the way to great too. I mean, like it was bad. Some of them were okay. This tier list, I like this one a little bit more. Like I said, a lot of people consider Noah weak because, I mean, it's just a lot of people do her blue build. I mean, and her green build and her blue build require her to trade blows like she's a brawler, but I mean, she doesn't have good sustain, and so people don't run her red, and so being blue or green, they'll get their butts kicked a lot, and so I could see why people would think that she's put her in weak. And so, I mean, I guess you were going nice on this one. So this is funny. Broken, very nice, mediocre, and weak. Okay. Tokiko, like I said, Tokiko, a lot of people see her as weak because she does not hit very hard. She can debuff, which makes her hit harder, but on average, she doesn't hit very hard, but she hits a lot. And that's the thing, that she hits a lot, but since she has no good sustain, they've made her into kind of like a brawler, just like Noah, but they don't have sustain, and so they can't stay trading blows. Unlike the broken Murasaki, she does belong up here, but that's getting ahead. So Tokiko, I would say is nice. Both of these two are nice. And then here we go to Rinko. Rinko again. See, on this tier list also she's weak, and I've seen a bunch of tier lists where she is also on the weakest side. Like, I would never put her in the weak. I mean, she's between mediocre and nice because she can be fun to play, but I mean, she's slow but fast. Her skills are fast, most of them. Some of them are slow, but her normal attack is kind of slow to start up, and then it gets fast, and that's where it's I mean, she's Rinko. They've rebalanced her, buffed her, rebalanced her, and buffed her like that. She's already had like 4 balance rebuffs, and she went from weak to between weak mediocre to mediocre to, I mean, all those buffs and balances, they barely move her up. And so right now, originally she was weak, but she's moved up to like in between nice and mediocre on this tier list. Another one, and then here we go with Anne Rose. Anne Rose, I would say very nice because she does good damage, and she can be a fast character, and she has really good sustain. She has, it's not the best, but like I said, it's really good for her because she doesn't get hit very much. And she is pretty fast with her attacks, and so like I said, she can get in, attack, then get out, and then heal. And so I will put her in very nice. Obro, I will put her in nice. because Oboro, like I said, she needs sustain. She hits very, very hard, but she almost has like the same thing I mentioned in the other video, like Kurenai and Felicia. She has like a high flinch rate and she flinches a lot, and so when she's attacking, she's like attack, 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 but then she gets hit and kind of knocks her out of that. And so I would say Rinko suffers from that too. Like they kind of flinch a lot too. Rinko kind of suffers from she has faster recovery, but she flinches a lot. There's some of the girls that, I mean, they'll take hits. Again, like Murasaki, she's broken. She will take hit from enemies and she won't even flinch at all. Like she flinches, but very, very little. Rinko, Oboro, Kurenai, and Felicia flinch a lot. They all flinch a lot. And so with all these three characters, you have to attack, 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 and then get away if you're gonna get hit, because it's like and then these two have good sustain, but these two do not. Oboro and Rinko do not have good sustain, and so you have to kind of keep away. And they're kind of made like brawlers, but again, just like Noah and Tokiko, like her green and blue build, they're made like brawlers, but they have no good sustain. They're not really great on defense, and so it's like they're like precision brawlers where you have to be precise, but then it's that's what takes away from some of these characters, because they're built like brawlers, but their defense is not built like brawlers. And so she hits hard, but she also gets hit hard. And so her, again, I'll put her, she's not mediocre. I'll just put her nice. Because like I said, most of the characters are not mediocre. If it's mediocre, it's because you're not building them right, or you have kind of like a skill issue, or you have an input issue. Your controller, mouse and keyboard or phone suck. There's something wrong. And then, okay, moving on to Asagi. Asagi, I would say Asagi is very nice. She's not broken because, again, she has no good sustain, and she will win battles, but she doesn't hit very hard, so it's going to be a long battle, but she will win. The longer a battle goes, it doesn't matter with her. The longer a battle goes with Oboro, the worse it's bad for her. She has to finish fights fast. Asagi can just, like a Energizer Bunny, just keep going and going and going. And so I'll put her in very nice. She's not broken, but she's better than nice. Look, okay, on this one, probably between very nice and nice. She's, like I said, she has sustain, but it's not very good, because she can be knocked out of her sustain and you actually lose. And then if whatever sustain she gets, it's not very good. So she's between nice and very nice. I mean, some of these tier lists need like an extra tier in between some of them. Nagi on the other side, she hits hard on red. I mean, she hits really, really hard on red, but she has no heal. But I mean, if you play her like kind of like a brawler, no, not trading, but more like a just attacking. If you finish the fight fast, it'll be okay, unless you come up to some enemies that make the fight last longer. Then I would say the blue build is better, because her blue, when she heals, the blue, like I said in the other video, it's multiple hit, but as soon as you do the blue build, she for her healing, it kicks her attack up, so the percentage of healing it does is multiplied because of the attack up plus the multiple hit. So if you do it too far away from an enemy, she won't heal very well. But if you jump into the mob and then do her heal, she can get almost full heal too. Her heal it can be from one of the average heals to one of the best heals in the game. And so it just depends how close to an enemy and enemies you are. Like, let's say you jump into a little mob of like 3 enemies and you do her healing move. I mean, she will heal almost all her health in one attack, or that skill attack, because she'll hit all three of them multiple times. And so I would put her in very nice. But if you run her red, she doesn't have that heal, but she hits really, really hard, and she will just finish the level before they have a chance to actually beat her down. But if you run her red, you have to play her like overall. You have to finish the fight fast. The longer it goes, the worse it is for her. If you play her blue, it doesn't matter, because she can constantly heal over and over and over. and then she can get like a speed buff, and I mean like her red is like between nice and very nice build, but I'd say her blue build, since it has an amazing sustain, goes to very nice. And next we get to Saika. Saika wasn't in the other tier list I reviewed. I would say probably her, if you do not have her limited weapon, because if you have her limited weapon, you have to go green Saika, because she hits super hard, kind of like Nagi and Oboro. She'll finish the fight before she gets taken out with red. What's his name? Was talking red or green? But okay, with green she hits super hard. Oh, red the same, and both of them. But with her limited green weapon, all green, she will like totally destroy enemies and bosses pretty good with the one move. All the other moves are just to keep her alive, to where she can just bunch everybody up and take everybody out. And that's the green. The blue gives her a lot of defense, and she does not hit hard on blue, but you will just be trading and trading and trading. But she's like, she needs a sustain to do that, but it kind of gets boring because she doesn't kill everybody fast, but she doesn't die herself, and so you're just, it's like a unnecessarily long, it like almost doubles the time of a level that you're running if you run blue, because she will survive, but since she doesn't hit very hard, it doesn't feel good playing her in blue. But you won't die, or I mean eventually you probably will if you're tackling a harder level. But her red and green are best, and her green is best only if you have her limited weapon. I'd say her red is the best because she hits really, really hard and she's pretty fast. So I'll go with red for her. And that being said, I would keep her at nice. She has some sustain, but that's like a high level sustain, and she can be knocked out of it, and in between nice and very nice, because her sustain, she doesn't have the worst sustain. There's worse sustain, like Shizuru's sustain. I mean, that, and Aina's sustain is not very good. And then it's like a little area you have to stay in there. If you're trying to get away from some of the bosses, you can't stay in that sustain, so their sustain sucks. I'd say Saika's sustain is a little bit better, but just like Asuka and Rinko, she can be knocked out of in the middle of doing the sustain attack, and so you won't even get any sustain and actually end up losing more sustain. So I mean, even though she has okay sustain, I would keep her at very nice and nice between those two. And here we go, my waifu, Asuka. She's just nice. Her kill 'em all missiles, they give her a weapon to sustain herself, but I mean it doesn't hit very hard, and so it doesn't hit sustain. And even though it's multiple hit, it's like too little, because there's some enemies in this game too, they will take away like more than half your health in some situations, and for you to like just do a skill move that only recovers like 3 or 4% of that health that you lost, like it's not a good sustain. It's like probably one of the worst sustains. Not very good. I mean, you can give her other sustain supporters, and they'll do a lot better than her kill 'em all missile gimmick she got going. But I mean, she's nice, but like I said, with all the characters, if you give them the best enchanting, the best supporters, the best weapons, you can get them all close to being very nice, almost broken. But like I said, I'm looking at these from like you can give her a enchanted, high enchanted super rare with some low enchanted S level 1, 2, 3 ultra rares, and so that will probably just get her to like nice, kind of touching very nice. But I mean, to like Rinko belongs pretty weak. And I don't even know, did I even give ranking to Noah, Tokiko, and Rinko? I'd say if I did or I didn't, I don't even remember. Rinko, Oh yeah, I did. I gave her mediocre and Tokiko. Yeah, I gave him. Oh, okay, back to Asuka. Asuka is just like that's in the nice category. Kirara, a lot of people like here. Everybody in mediocre. Here, the only person that might fit mediocre is Asuka, but all of them belong nice to very nice, and one of them is also Kirara. A lot of people have complaints about Kirara, and I don't know why, because she has a Kojinka. Like I said, her freeze move that slows down everybody, but then also gives them a defense debuff. I don't know what they're doing wrong that they can't get her to very nice, because the only thing she's missing is sustain, because she hits pretty hard and she moves a lot, so she's not a stationary character. I mean, she does have some stationary moves, but again, she has it's not witch time, it's not bullet time, let's call it freeze time. She has freeze time, and so I have no idea how people always say that she's so weak, and so I mean, it's easy. Her green and her blue are really good builds. Her red is pretty good too, but I'd say either run her blue or green, and both. Her red's probably like nice, and her green and blue are very nice. And like I said, she doesn't even need too much sustain because she moves a lot, and she also can control the battle with her freeze time. And so, like I said, I already said where I would put her in very nice. Not a high very nice, but like in very nice. Same thing goes for Sakura. Next one, I would put her in very nice. And again, I could understand why people put Sakura in mediocre, because from level 1 to about level 60, 65, she doesn't have enough defense and she doesn't have enough offense to even have her own sustain be good. Like you can do her sustain move and you will not heal very much, and then people, since her defense is still low, it's not very good. But once you get her to like at 65 and above, where she can hit harder and she has better defense, her sustain move actually sustains her. It goes from being a crappy sustain to being it's not mid, it's like a high mid. It's a high mid or a low high sustain move. But she can control, and she can do debuffs. She can do several things like and she can snare enemies. And so I mean, you can just snare the enemies, pick the one that you know that has like no super armor or one of the weaker enemies, and just go and you use your sustain attack on that person. And I mean, it's not, like I said, it's not the best sustain, but since she can control the crowd and choose who she's gonna get sustain from, you can actually get like really good sustain from instead of trying to attack the boss that has full super armor, just go get one of the lackeys and heal yourself a lot while everybody's stuck in and I mean, she's very nice. That's where I would put her, very nice. Aina on this one, I would say Aina again, she needs to be higher. She hits hard, she's ranged. She has poor sustain, but I mean, since she's ranged, she's not gonna get hit too much, and so she's not gonna need that sustain. And some of her I mean, she's almost all her builds are good. You can play her different skills, different colors. She belongs in very nice. Sora belongs in very nice, but I would say mostly her blue build, because she has another really good sustain. Like it'll sustain like on average half her energy most of the time. Like, and that's what, and she belongs very nice. She has a good loadout of skills and stuff. Next one is Yuki Kaza. Yuki Kaza again is almost broken. If not, I mean, she a lot of people always keep her down low, but if you put her on green, if you use her red or you use her blue, and she has some bad moves that are not very good, just like Rinko has some bad moves. And they redid Ingrid's skills, not just buffing them or adjusting them, they actually like redid skills. I say Yuki Kaze, some of her skills need to be redone. Leave green alone, but fix red and blue, and so other people can run those colors, because everybody it's just green Yuki Kaza. That's everybody. That's her meta, which makes her almost broken, if not in the broken level. And Rinko's green attacks need to be redone too. Like I mean, in a game where your enemies teleport from across the screen, I forget the Kuton, with the little orbs that she sends out, it takes her almost 2 seconds for her to launch them. In 2 seconds, all 3 enemies will be on you, like if you're playing floor 75. I mean, even if you dash teleport to the other side of the level, by the time you're done launching the Kuton bullets, or I forget what the name thing is, but I mean, all the enemies are already on you, and they don't even, the bullets don't do very much damage. They don't have to travel far, because again, all the other days it takes too long. That thing should only take like 3/4 of a second to completely launch for it to be even considered. Nobody uses that move. But again, I'm jumping to Rinko. Let's go back. Yuki Kaza, low broken. Ren, high, very nice. She has she hits hard. She has some good sustain. Kind of requires her to get real close to use those things, like her moves, and that's where she can get hit a lot. And her sustains are pretty good, but then she can also get hit during the move. Like Yuki Kaza's sustain actually picks her up above the enemies, so she doesn't even get hit very much. I mean, when she's coming back down, that's when she can get hit, or if she's barely jumping back up. But Ren can get hit because she stays pretty low, and it's a pretty long skill where she does a spinning attack to get her sustain. And Ren seems like a brawler, but she's more of a precision character, and so she hits hard and she has good sustain, but I would say it's not enough to make her broken. She's a high, very nice. And a lot of people, okay, moving to Kurenai, a lot of people get Kurenai and get her, like, put her close to being broken. I would say she's like a low, very nice, because she has good sustain, but like I've mentioned in the other video, she has a high flinch, like a high flinch animation and flinch rate. Like, I mean, weak enemies barely touch her and she flinches. And I'd say Rinko, Oboro, and Felicia suffer from the flinch, but it's worst on Kurenai. Kurenai has the worst flinch from everybody. Then after that, it's probably Felicia. But like I said, you just sneeze on Kurenai and she'll flinch. The other characters can take a little bit more, but Kurenai with that flinch, she's a low, very nice. Even though she has good sustain and good skills, I mean, she gets knocked out of her skills. She can get knocked out of almost all of them. You just have to, I mean, if you build her okay, she won't have a problem. I mean, they could reduce that flinch, but at the same time, I kind of like that you have to build some of the characters around their flaws. And so her having that high flinch, I really don't mind. If you build her, you can get around that. And then also your playstyle, but everybody wants to play all the characters, like all the characters are Murasaki. They just want to stay there trading blows, and like, nope, only Murasaki. I think that's about it. Everybody else, you either have to use the character's best style. I mean, there's a lot of people, and then you tell them, oh, you have to play the characters different. You can't play them all like Murasaki, and they're surprised, like, oh, you're just supposed to stay there trading shots. I'm like, no. What do you think this is? This is not the Murasaki gang. This is the Taimanin. Everybody's different. So that takes us to Shizuru. Shizuru also is a very nice, because she has some debuffs. She has really bad sustain. I mean, it's a sustain, but I mean, it barely heals her. I mean, it's like, it'll probably heal her like 2 or 3% of the sustain she lost, but that's if she stays inside her healing field for the whole time. I mean, it barely heals her. It's not. I mean, she might as well not have it. It barely heals her, because again, since it's a stationary heal, you have to keep her there, and usually you're on the run, and so you might get healed once from it, and it's it's a very low number. I mean, that sustain is pretty much a joke. It's like Aina's sustain is the same, but Aina's ranged, and so she won't get hit as much. Shizuru is melee, so it's more brawling. You have to get in, but I mean, you have to keep a lot of these characters. Pretty much all the characters, you have to keep moving. If you just stay in one spot trading blows, again, not everybody's Murasaki, you're gonna lose. But if you keep her moving, she's very nice. Her sustain sucks, but I mean, she has good SRs that melt away humans, robots, I mean the machines, I mean debuffs. She's not the easiest, but I mean, she's not the worst. I'd say maybe I could just keep her nice or high nice. I'm still very nice. She's pretty good. Ingrid on the other hand, I would say Ingrid could go high nice too. She has no sustain, but she hits really, really hard. But you have to keep moving, or you have to kill your enemies really, really quick. Because the longer a battle goes, the more it shows her flaws. Because like I said, she has no defense. If she doesn't kill something right away, it's gonna be who kills who first. It's not gonna be one-sided. If you don't kill something right away with like Ingrid or Oboro, it's like it's more of a who can kill who first, because they kind of hit hard. I mean, Oboro has better defense, but Ingrid hits harder, and so like I said, it's just you need to fight over fast. So I would say a high nice. I mean, if you run her blue, it buffs her defense, and so she can last a little bit longer, but like she doesn't hit as hard as she does with green. But since she hits super hard, it's if you're having trouble, you could just run her blue, so it'll give her more defense, so she'll survive more. I mean, she won't hit as hard, but I mean, the difference between green and blue, it's a big difference, but it's not a huge difference. And so you might actually run, instead of running her green, you can run blue skills, and the fight might be like a 1 or 2 seconds longer, but she'll have like a lot more health. So it's a little bit, it's not such a rush to defeat everybody before you get defeated. So she's like a high nice. And Astaroth, I would put a high nice too, or low very nice, because she has no sustain. She hits hard, but again, like kind of like Ingrid, her defense isn't low, but a lot of her moves make her stay in one spot, so she gets hit a lot. And so you have to buff her defense, or I mean, if when she attacks, she just melts and just destroys and burns and just destroys everything around her. But if you can't do those moves, the enemies will just whittle you away, and since she has no sustain, it's not very good. Again, just like Oboro, Ingrid, Astaroth needs to defeat the enemies in as quick time as possible. So I would put her again like Ingrid, like very low very nice or high nice. Emily, she has good sustained skills that heal her. I mean, she has another healing field, but since she doesn't move very fast, she pretty much can stay in the healing field, and she can use the I forget the name of the drum bot move. Does it heal her when she's up there? I don't even know, but I mean, she can stay in her healing field pretty good, better than Shizuru and Aina, and it heals a lot better too. But her gravity hold heal, it's if you get enemies lined up, it's multiple heals, so she can actually heal a lot. But again, she's not very fun. She's not super boring, but she's okay, but she's not the best fun to play and stuff. And like I said, she's utility, auto farming. She belongs very nice. She'll get you to content if you get her, and she'll survive pretty good. Unless it's a boss that has a lot of reach and she cannot dash away, because she dashes, she's still within reach. He's gonna stay hitting you, and you can try healing, and you're eventually gonna lose. That's the only situation she loses. All the other situations where it's like a boss, a smaller boss, and she could just dash away from the regular moves, I mean, it's gonna be fine. But any of the larger bosses that have huge reach, Yeah, she might be. She is screwed. So she's very nice. Say Felicia also. Felicia would be very nice because again she has a flinch. She flinches not as much as Kurenai, but she flinches. But she has a really good heal. Actually good heals. She has different ways of getting heals. And if you try to play her like Murasaki just trading, you're gonna lose. But if you run around and attack and then and get away, move around, attack, and then get away and just keep the enemies off balance. I mean, she can go. To some people she almost feels broken, but that's kind of like a playstyle and the build. If you try to play her like Murasaki, just since she has good heals, just trying to trade blows, some people might put her like barely at mediocre because they don't understand. As the same goes for the rest of the characters, they don't understand the character. But she can go to very nice. Shiranui belongs in broken. She has really good sustain in red, and then all her builds are pretty strong. But I mean, her red, she can sustain herself really good, and you can build her with super rares. And same goes for Micah. That's probably why they put Micah on broken, because you could just run all super rares on Micah. Same for Shiranui, and they're in like almost a broken range. Maybe not Micah. She needs sustain to be in broken, but she would be like almost broken with super rares. These two super rares, and you can get them up here. All these other people, they need a mix or some ultra rare gear. They'll move up. This one she'll still stay low. And this one, Rinko, Asuka, well they'll move up like a level or two, but they'll never get. They do not get close to broken. But just with super rares, Shiranui and Micah get well, Shiranui is broken with super rares. Micah gets close to being broken with super rares. Now, I'm talking about supporters and weapons. These two, they're easy to build, and she is broken. She is a really good character. The other broken character, of course, is Murasaki. You can get Murasaki to broken with some super rares, but you probably have to mix some ultra rares too. But full green Murasaki, she's broken. Shiranui broken, Murasaki broken, Shisui broken. Like I said, her stand will just be. Her stand does not flinch, so it will continue attacking and causes other things to flinch, even if it gets past the stand to attack. Shisui, if you just run by your stand or dodge toward it, the stand will just knock them out of them chasing you. And she heals. These two heal like crazy. They have the best heals in the game. And so, I mean, there can be brawlers. I mean, just trading shots. These two can just stay there. Even though you're not even gonna be trading shots with her, it's a stand that's mostly trading shots. You're just with Shizuru, you're actually just taking little pot shots. But with her stand, she's broken. These two are broken, and they can be just like they might take like an ultra rare or two. But I mean, even with a super rare in there, they'll be broken. And that's where they belong. Micah does not belong up here, and neither does Sue. Sue is very build specific for her to be in broken. Like I said, if you give them the perfect gear, perfect enchanting supporters, you can make almost all of them get close to being broken, because there is sustained supporters for blue, red, and green. If you give them, some of these characters just need sustain, and if you give them a little bit of sustain, boom, okay, it'll kick them up to broken. So these two do not belong in broken. The person that probably picked them up, put them up here, probably had like a build to get them into broken. But Micah does get really high with just super rares, which is, I mean, it's pretty good because and she's ranged, and they've made her into kind of like a ranged brawler. I mean, Aina's kind of a ranged brawler, kind of gave her like a John Wick fighting style, but Micah, it's like they give her a lot of defense, kind of like she's supposed to take a lot of hits, like in her charging shots, but those aren't her best moves. But she can take and exchange hits. She has no sustain, so she does not belong up here. If you get her sustain, I mean, she with super rares, she's really good. She's like a high, very nice with super rares. And then, like I said, if you get her some sustain, I mean, it's hard to take her out because she's ranged, but she hits super hard. And like I said, even a super rare weapon can get her like up here. On this one, Sue belongs, I mean, she can kind of get too broken, but again, you can get all the girls too broken with the right build and enchanting and awaken points and blah blah blah. Magatamas, perfectly rolled Magatamas, but this is more like of a average, like you mix them up with maybe some low S levels, ultra rares, Magatamas that aren't perfectly rolled, super rare Magatamas, not even the ultra rare, and she would probably be like mid, very nice, because she can, some of her builds can get her defense up like crazy, but she doesn't belong in broken. She's like in very nice. And that's that tier list.